In the ancient world, rulers worshipped as gods sent out great armies to create great empires. These emperors changed the course of history by conquering country after country. One tiny nation conquered again and again was the Israelites. Perhaps no people in history were more likely to be forgotten. But these were not just any people. These were the people of the book. The people of Abraham, the first to encounter the one true God. Of Moses, the only human being to see God face to face. And of David, warrior, king, and adulterer. The Israelite stories taught unique lessons about God. And in the hands of great rabbis like Hillel and preachers like Jesus of Nazareth, the Israelites' Bible would change how human beings understood what was right and what was wrong, and how they should treat one another. And against all odds, the Israelites would change human history as much as any empire that ever existed. In 589 BC, the people of Judah, last of the Israelites, rebelled against the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar. He responded by ordering his troops to lay waste to Jerusalem and destroy the Judeans' most precious possession, the Temple of Solomon. Then Nebuchadnezzar ordered that the king of Judah should watch his sons be put to death as a sign to all that his royal line had come to an end. Afterward, the Babylonians led the people of Jerusalem into exile in Babylon. As they traveled the 600 miles from their tiny homeland to Babylon, the Judeans' future looked grim. Only a few generations earlier, the northern tribes of the Israelites had been taken into exile and vanished forever. Now the Judeans too seemed destined to disappear, with all memory they had existed as a people lost forever. Their mood was captured in a poem from the Book of Psalms.
By the rivers of Babylon we sat and wept when we remembered Zion. On the poplars there we had hung up our harps, for our jailers asked us to sing them a song. But how can we sing a song of the Lord in a strange land?
In spite of their despair and the incredible odds against them, the Judeans decided to fight for their survival as a people. They chose to fight not with spears and swords, but by writing a book. In every spare moment they could find, the greatest of the Judean scribes began to rewrite and edit together stories about their past, which had been handed down to them by their ancestors. The book they compiled was the first edition of the most influential work in human history, the Hebrew Bible.
The Bible was the first book. And you can argue it's good history writing or bad history writing. I think it's extraordinarily remarkable history writing for humans' first time out. But it is the first. It's the first time humans set down a story like that through many generations. And the fact that we did it so well the first time out and that it impacted for so long is, it's a wonder.
The scribes were driven by what they saw as a sacred mission, to bring the lessons taught by the stories alive for their fellow exiles, so they would understand why they were in Babylon and how they could get home to Jerusalem. Their book was a guide to how the Judean exiles should live, not a literal history.
Many skeptics today want to ask, are the stories in the Hebrew Bible true in any sense? They are true in some senses and not in others. In other words, the biblical writers want to expand upon events to shed light upon their meaning as they understood that meaning. We moderns say, but wait a minute, we want to know what really happened. So for us, skeptical or not, the question is often, can stories which are not true in every detail nevertheless be morally edifying? My answer is yes. The Bible does not have to be literally true in every detail to be true in other senses.
The story said that the father of all Jews was Abraham. Abraham was born in the city of Ur in Mesopotamia. According to the Jewish book of tradition and law, the Talmud, the people of Abraham's land worshiped the sky, and each city venerated a different heavenly body. Abraham's father made and sold idols to the people of the city of Ur. But Abraham could not accept his father's ideas about religion.
There's a very famous legend that says that when Abraham was a young boy, his father, Terach, owned a shop. The shop was full of idols. One day he said to his son, "Watch the store for a while I go out." And when he came back, he found that every idol in the store had been smashed, except for the largest idol that had a wooden staff in its hand. The father said to Abraham, "What went on? I left you in charge. What happened?" Abraham said, "Don't get mad at me. The largest god here destroyed all the others." His father said, "What are you, nuts? They're wood and stone." And Abraham said, "Aha, that's the point. They're just wood and stone." And that story comes to tell us that it was Abraham who was the first one to discover the idea that there is one God in the universe. That God created the heavens and the earth, and not the other way around.
According to the stories, once Abraham began to voice his belief that the universe was ruled by a single God, that God gave him a mission.
And the Lord said to Abraham, "Leave your country, your kindred, and your father's house, for a country which I will show you. And I will make you a great nation. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you. And all clans on earth will bless themselves by you.